All right, it's the final stretch of Love is Blind episodes. Let's talk about episode 10 and 11. Hey everyone, it's David Starr from Watcher Pass, and today it's the next series of episodes. Let's talk about Love is Blind Season 7, the DC7, episodes 10 and 11. This is what we've been waiting for since the end of episode 6. The flapper party's here. We get to see the couples in the wild a little bit more, and there's a little bit more drama. Now, is there enough drama? I don't know. This season hasn't felt like there has been as much drama as I expected. Now, look, I haven't watched the previous seasons of Love is Blind, but I expected there to be like some big crazy events, and there were some, but I feel like a lot of the couples are just kind of fine, and it feels like any of the drama that happens is kind of manufactured. So this didn't have as much drama as I expected, but there were some big incidents. So let's just start this with the flapper party. That is the biggest event. That is the thing they've been building up for. So the flapper party, all the couples dress up in like, I don't even know what year that would be, like 30s fashion, and go to like a fun kind of like speakeasy type event and all meet up. And it's fun. You get to see some people that we haven't seen before. You get to see Katie, she's here. You get to see Bodhi, he's here. And you get to see Monica. She's here, but no Steve. Remember at the end of the in the last series of episodes, Steven was like texting with I think like a random person about potentially like meeting up, and he might have hooked up with her. And this rubbed Monica the wrong way, as it should, because they're engaged. And so they like split up. So Monica shows up, Steven does not. So they're still not going to get together, it seems like. Now, also on the way, Taylor and Garrett have some sort of fight here. It seems like Garrett got a text from like an old flame, and he just tells Taylor that he liked the message. Okay. Weird, but no big deal. But then at the party, as they're talking, he's talking to Tyler, I think, and Garrett's like, "Oh yeah," and I responded like, "Hey, look, I'm engaged, so we shouldn't talk anymore," which was also weird, like weird way to respond. He should be like, "Hey, cool, good to hear from you, but like I'm engaged," something like that. He told Tyler that he responded in like a very like flat way, which felt weird, and also was weird because he told Taylor that he just basically liked it and that was it. So Taylor gets upset, as she should, because it seems like Garrett is lying to her, or at least like shaving off parts of the truth to her. And so this causes them to have a very poor night because Taylor is upset with Garrett. They're gonna get married in like 4 days, and he's like lying and like talking to his exes. Not good. She seems really hurt by this, and so Garrett doesn't really come off great in this either. Like he doesn't show her the message. I mean, she doesn't like ask to see his phone, but I don't know. Just show her the message. It probably wasn't great. That's probably why he didn't want to show it. But again, this is the first like crack we've seen from them. I think it'll be fine though. Bodhi shows up. I was super excited to see Bodhi. He's the same happy, wonderful self, and you thought there might be some drama here because he and Marissa connect really well. But after all that buildup, after all that advertising, they just like talk for a little bit. And Marissa's like, no, it just reinforces my choice with Ramsey. Like, Bodhi's cool. He's like a friend, but I'm romantically interested in Ramsey. So Bodhi came, looked great, shot his shot, didn't work. So Bodhi is out, and it seems like Marissa and Ramsey are fine. Now, Katie is an X factor here. She shows up, she and Nick talk, and they seem to kind of like click pretty well. They seem to have good energy. Katie's like super nice to Nick. She says he's like much more attractive than she thought he would be. And Katie also says this to Hannah. Katie like tells Hannah that Nikki D is like hotter than she thought he would be, and she's like super nice to Nick. She thinks he has a good vibe. She thinks he has a good energy. It seems like they would be a nice couple, maybe. I mean, I don't know. They seem to connect more than Nick does with Hannah. And so this causes some drama because Hannah gets annoyed about this, and this causes more problems later. Now, one of the weird things is like Hannah says that Katie's like one of her best friends, but I don't know how long they were in the pods for. I don't know how Katie could be one of Hannah's best friends after they'd been hanging out for like a couple weeks, but that I don't know. That's a weird flag for me, and also is like a strange thing for Hannah to say. Like she's upset that Katie's talking to Nick, even though she said that he should talk to her. And then she's upset that Nick is like talking to Katie, one of her best friends, even though Nick basically said like, "Hey, she's the person I probably want to get closure with." So this whole thing causes a spiral in Nick and Hannah. So later, there is a little bit more drama. Now, let's go with Nick and Hannah. Afterwards, Hannah's really angry at Nick, and again, she does the thing that she always does, which is like, "I built you up, I made you an adult," things like that. And she also brings up that list that she made on their like first trip in Mexico of like all of Nick's flaws. Just like nothing has changed. I'm like, all right, then just don't get married. Like you clearly don't respect him. He likes you, it seems, but doesn't seem like you're a great match. And so eventually she's talking down to him, and eventually she's like, right now, you know, this isn't going to work. We're not going to get married. And so that was it. They're not going to get married. They split up, it seems. Seems like Nick and Hannah are done, probably for the best. I thought there'd be some more drama. There was, but it wasn't the kind of drama I was hoping for. It basically felt like Hannah was being mean to Nick, and Nick was just kind of taking it. So, not the fun drama I was hoping for, more like a sad drama. So, that's Nick and Hannah. They are done. Seems like they're not going to make it. Now, Taylor and Garrett, they get over this, text. Apparently, they didn't sleep at night that night. They like talked a lot. Taylor forgives him. We never see what the text was or like, what the response was, but they end up flying to San Diego. Garrett meets Taylor's family. They give him a Padres hat. It seems to go well. They meet Taylor's mother. It also goes fine. So they seem to move along. I think they seem to be like the cutest, like best matched couple. They just seem to always be having fun together, except for this like text fight. Other than that, they seem to just be like doing well. I think they'll be fine. I think they will get married. We'll find out next week. Ramses and Marissa. We thought that maybe Bodhi would be like a big X factor here. He wasn't. He was a non-issue. It seems like Ramses and Marissa are proceeding towards the wedding, but there are some cracks that show up. There's some awkward conversation, maybe felt like about kids. And also seems like maybe they're having some intimacy issues. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like Ramses and Marissa are having some intimacy issues really close to their wedding. Not great, but I think they'll be okay. They still seem to be happy, but we will see. There's also a big kind of like curveball at the end that's thrown where we see that 2 days before the wedding, this is in the preview, Ramsey and Marissa are having something going on. It's all very cryptic. Seems like they're talked to some people and something has changed. And then Ramsey is like scared, it seems, to get married because he's so worried about getting divorced again that he doesn't want to get married again. I was like, dude, like, I mean, yeah, it's always a possibility. Like, you already got divorced, but you can't like not marry someone because you're worried you might get divorced. That means you're just always going to be single. So we'll see what happens. I think they'll probably be fine, but they seem like they might be a little bit on the rocks. Tim and Alex, that was an interesting one. They've always been kind of like a weird couple, and they start to have a fight about meeting Tim's parents. Tim is upset with Alex because she went to sleep after meeting the parents. And the way that Tim describes like, you met my parents and you like went and took a nap. Alex is like, we hung out for like 4 hours. I was tired. I went to took a nap. I need my naps. You know that. And so, and Tim just seems to like have his own ideas on things. If you don't match that perfectly, then it's like an insult to him or an affront to him. I don't know what their like communication is like. It doesn't seem great. But basically, Tim is like annoyed at her because she went to sleep as soon as the camera's cut. And she's like, look, I was tired. Like, I need my naps. You know, I need my naps. He thinks that she like insulted his parents and whatnot. And eventually Tim just says, right now, I don't see you as my wife, which was like, oh, okay, that's a big issue. But you know what? They've had issues before. Like they had that big fight right at the start of their trip. And it seems like they've just kind of been on the rocks ever since. And so this was just kind of like the final straw, but I don't know, probably for the best. Tim seems like a very tough person to live with, at least from what we've seen on screen. So probably better for both of them that they just end it right now. But it seems like Tim and Alex are over. Steven and Monica are already over. We saw Monica briefly. Steven was nowhere to be seen. So there we go. So Tyler and Ashley, they had a big revelation at the end of the last episode where Tyler, I guess, had like donated sperm for a friend to have kids. And so he has like 3 kids, I think 2 girls and a boy or something like that, 2 boys and a girl. And this caused a fight with Ashley, as you'd expect. Tyler never brought this up, but it seems like in his words, he was just helping his best friend have a baby. And so I don't really know how that was. It said that she couldn't like afford IVF. So I don't know if like he impregnated her or something. Like it's an interesting dynamic. And I guess apparently you can go online and find more information about it. The show doesn't really give us enough information about what happened, but that seemed to cause a rift with them. But they seem to be working through it. They go-karting, they go skydiving. It's pretty cute. And so it seems like they are going to be fine. It seems like after this big revelation, it seems like they're going to be okay. They both talked, like Ashley specifically said that she wanted to like go skydiving. She wants to take a leap of faith before she takes this next leap of faith. So it's a nice poetic idea, and it does seem to like make them get stronger. So I think they'll be fine. And then at the end of this episode, we already talked about it. There's a Marissa and Ramsey's some sort of drama brewing. I guess we'll see what happens next. So I think my predictions are still fine. The only three that went to the dress fitting were Ramsey's, Taylor, and Ashley. They seem to be the ones that are probably going to last. I think that they'll last. But the only one that could potentially be on the rocks is Marissa and Ramsey's. Seems like some cracks are forming in their relationship. So I think they'll probably be okay. I think they'll make it to the altar. But we'll find out next week in the last episode, the wedding episode. But that is Love is Blind, episodes 10 and 11. It comes to Netflix on October 16th, 2024. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.